This video is a guide on safe work practices at Integricare. When lifting furniture or objects, ensure you ask for support from a colleague if the object is large or heavy, practice safe lifting techniques, and always know the path ahead by facing in the direction of travel. If carrying objects on your own, it is best to carry the objects firmly in both hands and in front of you to avoid collisions with other objects, and as mentioned before, constantly readjust your feet to ensure you are able to safely carry the object. Another tip for lifting objects is to reduce the reaching demands by standing as close to the object as possible and engaging your core muscles to reduce the risk of aggravation to your lower back. When approaching a child at floor height, ensure you are approaching in their line of sight. Getting down using a lunge technique offers optimum posture and stability when assisting a child up. It is encouraged to prompt the child to come close if they are able to mobilize to ensure the lift is performed close to the body. Alternatively, if mobility allows, you can lift the child from a seated position. Whichever technique you decide to choose, it is important that you are stable and have the ability before completing the task. When carrying a child to a changing table, stand as close to the bench as possible to minimize reaching and engage your core to avoid straining your lower back. Apply the same principles when lifting the child from the change table. Slowly pull the stairs out with the other hand on the bench for support and assist the child up if they are able to mobilize. If available, use the higher set cots for the babies to avoid reaching in and straining your lower back. When lifting a baby out of a cot, aim to keep a neutral wrist position when supporting the head and neck to minimize injury risk to the wrist and hand. For children that are placed in lower set cots, reduce bending and reaching demands by standing close to the cot and lowering the child down safely. Reverse the process for lifting the child out of the cot, ideally encouraging the child to come close to the end of the cot, if able to minimize the reaching demands. When serving meals and drinks from the trolley, always push the trolley slowly with both hands. Always bend through the knees and hips when serving plates or placing objects at low heights. To avoid bending the back to place the beds down, you can guide it down by lunging or squatting, depending on which technique you feel more comfortable and capable of performing. You can simply adopt the same technique when lifting the beds off the floor. When stacking the beds on the rack, use both hands and make sure your surroundings are clear to avoid hitting an object or person. It is important that you are aware where you are walking, as you shouldn't be jumping or stepping over objects, as this could lead to trips or falls. Objects left on the floor are considered a trip hazard and should be cleared to reduce the risk of yourself or someone else tripping on the equipment. If attending to a child that is at ground level, lowering down into a lunge position is often the safest and easiest technique to get down to the floor. Getting up from the floor can be done in the reverse sequence to getting down, with the recommendation to use supports where available. A supported bent over position and a supported lunge are two suitable and stable postures for engaging with children at lower heights, as this ensures you are in a neutral and supported position. When working, you should not carry large, heavy items on your own. Avoid dragging, pushing, or pulling furniture that is not on wheels. Avoid lifting with outstretched arms and feet away from the object. Avoid walking over or past trip hazards on the floor. And avoid walking backwards when moving trolleys or carrying objects. The key take-home points for safe work practices at Integricare are to always ask for help when lifting heavy and large items, always lift close to the body and with a safe and stable technique, engage your core muscles when lifting, and avoid stepping over objects and ensure the path is clear of any trip hazards.